So I got a really great question today and I thought, wow, if I don't tell people this, they might mess something up and then not have any starter left. So remember I told you you're feeding your starter flour and water and it's gonna grow and double in size. And then you'll have 150 grams of the starter to use to bake a loaf of bread. However, in your starter, there's gonna be more than 150 grams in there. There could be like 180 or 200 or whatever. So use 150 of it, and then whatever you have remaining, whether it be 20 grams or 30 grams or whatever's left, you start feeding that again, okay? So don't ever use all of your starter. If you don't have enough to bake with, then chances are it's not ready to bake. It's not doubled in size, it's not bubbly. So this was a great question and something that I totally forgot that when I first started baking, I almost used all of it. And then I was like, wait a minute, then how would I make another loaf? So that's the importance of feeding the 1-to-1-to-1 ratio. And then that can change over time. I can give you guys more instruction if you want to feed it more. But like I said, when I've just done 30 grams of starter, and then the flour and the water, based on the ratios I sent you in the PDF, it goes right to the top, it overflows. I use 150 grams of it to bake the loaf of bread, and then the remainder I feed again, put back in my oven after the oven's cooled down, and then I have more starter to bake in the future. So you don't have to feed your starter every day. When you first get it, I would feed it every day. However, the most important thing is to make sure it doesn't get mold. It can get a little smelly too if you keep it too high of a temperature. Make sure it doesn't get mold, and then feed it. Make sure you feed it a couple of times regularly before you want to bake with it. So it doesn't have to be a ton of work. I don't make it more work than it is, but I love to bake bread and I bake it all the time. So I'm always feeding mine, but I do go a couple days sometimes without feeding it. So please email me if you have any questions at all.